what I can only presume is the Lincolns required this game. You've got Omni Slash, maybe Paralyzing Cast. Oh, jump on mid. QO gonna die again as Moon Meander manages to make.
And Miracle hits really hard right now. 119 damage. Combine that with Inner Beast and Overcharge.
Bevy trying to get the deny. Meanwhile, MVP Phoenix coming in for the side. They're going to go and start going on crit, but Miracle is going to challenge Dubu here. The right click almost enough to finish him off, but again, he's going to fairy fire. Meanwhile, crit. Oh, a heal actually managed to stop the Culling Blade, and again, that movement speed might be critical as MVP Phoenix are not able to get themselves, extricate themselves out of that team fight. That'll be Axe going down first. Witch Doctor, they're going to be able to spout out crit. Will be able to get their first track kill of the game rather easily. Turns back towards Miracle, who's already got a replicate out, so he can jump over to that one. The call is going to lead the way, though. They are going to get a lot of damage onto Miracle. He's ready to jump out in a second and should be able to escape. Meanwhile, the rest of OG blowing everything they had. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, actually centering up. Here comes the relocate. They're going to jump on MP. They managed to get the Primal Roar. The spin, not enough as Jesus. That Shadow Wave from Fly manages to help OG first.
And that is a farm
jump on Forever.
Beastmaster.
Oh, Miracle himself actually jumped over to it, trying to pick up the Battle Root, but this could be perfect. Miracle almost gets bursted down immediately, starts warping strength though, and now the rest of OG able to surround their carry and push back against MVP Phoenix, getting the initiation, and now the push uphill. Perez stuck on the cliff is going to try and make his way back down. Blinks in, manages to get the call, but just can't get the damage done as the rest of his team is being pushed back by No Tail. Now Perez is going to get stunned up by Miracle, rather large stun at that. QO gets the chains, creates the space for Perez to be able to get the blink out, and MVP Phoenix should be able to escape with but not fast enough as Bevy does get bursted down. The Axe still not here, and is not going to be able to get there in time to be able to get the Culling Blade. No Tail gets stalled up a little bit more. MP is going to join the fight, actually. They do have to relocate forward. They're just looking to be able to pop this Dragonite. Finally, they will bring him down with that pop, but no, it's now going to be the Witch Doctor who goes down. They turn towards taking it. 3 more seconds, but not fast enough. The Culling Blade takes him out. Now MVP Phoenix on full retreat, at least attempting to, but Perez going to get caught, and MP, who spun away, who's now trying to keep that healing ward to somehow run himself all the way back to the tier 2, but it's just not going to happen. Not even tier 2's up. He's got to make it all the way to tier 3. QO providing interference looks like a little bit of a warning signal to MVP Phoenix. They may still get caught here though. As a jump in, Dragon Tail leading the way. They managed to get the call counter, but still Miracle's going to be able to pop QO nonetheless. And Forev again just not tanky enough to be able to survive the onslaught of 5 different heroes. And now OG, they go straight for the throat, trying to take out the melee racks before the 25-minute marker, and they will take it indeed. MVP Phoenix not able to provide a response just yet. They're trying to slow this push down as best as they can. The Necronomicons, OG playing this very disciplined and very safe. Even though there's still no QO for MVP Phoenix.
You say that and there's a 5 strength Morphling.
Are they gonna go back in? Maybe they were perhaps a little bit afraid of a buyback there. The Ember Spirit, they know they're well in control of this game and don't want to do anything that puts that at risk.
Yeah, they can just take out Roche. Morphling just does incredible amounts of right-click damage. They're struggling to build damage, but by the time they complete damage items, they'll need defensive items to deal with the Morphling right-click. And there's no way they can lock him down in fights. They have the Manta style, even if they lock down his main hero. He'll still output a lot of damage with those illusions, and replicate on either Axe or Juggernaut will still be pretty huge.
MVP Phoenix, no, they can't just farm away. They need to get aggressive and see if they can actually get a track kill. And if they win a fight like this, they can actually turn it into a fast Roshan. But
Scan just came up for Radiant, but
MVP
already
Phoenix,
suspecting what's happening.
They're going the long way around here. And this may actually catch OG off guard all the way behind the tier 2, perhaps. They back away, and QO gives up all chase. He's going to head out to bottom lane. And Miracle reveals that the Ember Spirit was just here, leaving a remnant behind.
And I don't think that ward's going to last long. Very
Certainly
common
not.
move. Smoke into the opponent jungle, try and ward it up and get a pick later.
Moon. Quick Iron Talon takes that vision away from MVP Phoenix, and they're left with nothing on the map.
And then a Hawk into the pit to address that potential issue.
Yeah, just in case, as OG retreated, somehow MVP Phoenix did manage to make their way into the pit. That knowledge is secured for OG, and again, just sitting back, playing the farming game. Miracle farming up Ancient. They've got Hero pushing mid as well as top. Even at this moment, when, you know, they know the smoke has been defeated. They just managed to counter the vision. Even at this moment, OG are still playing rather defensively around each other, grouped up. No one's farming the bottom lane because they still don't know where MVP Phoenix is.
And MVP don't really have their farming items yet. Ember just got his Battle Fury, so it's not like he's going to get out of control anytime soon. Juggernaut just completed his.
He spots MP, immediately backs himself away, expecting the rest of the team to be behind him. He does have the relocate save from Crit ready to go, but MVP Phoenix, they played enough Wisp games in their lives. They know always to look for the Wisp first. Shuriken and Track not gonna last long, as Miracle already has completed Manta and uses it to get the track off of him and start split pushing that top lane without any danger to himself.
So what's MVP's plan of attack next? If they don't have any smokes, I don't really see how they can get the jump on OG, but OG are still out farming them. This gold lead, steady increase in green, 12,000 for OG.
It almost feels like if you're out of smokes, MVP Phoenix may have to consider buying a gem of their own. Now we know right now that vision isn't actually a problem, as OG don't have any aggressive wards up, but if they did, there was just no opportunity for MVP Phoenix to actually ever force a fight like they want to.
They don't have any gold to play around with.
Yeah.
Which normally isn't an issue for Bounty Hunter.
There's the Blade Mail for the Axe. That's a little something, I guess, against the Morphling, but again, as you said earlier, nothing to stop the Morph itself.
And he still does a lot of damage when when you have defensive items, because he still has a lot of stats, as opposed to Juggernaut. If you build a Vanguard, it does not help your damage output at all. And Morphling, if you build a lot of strength, you can just morph all that into agility and still hit really hard. He's sitting for 250 with Inner Beast and Weave.
Getting some damage on the top tier 2. Doesn't matter to OG. They'll give that up if necessary and continue to push out the bottom lane. They'll probably take this tier 2, and they can even go high ground once again, trying to force MVP Phoenix back to the base. They're gonna go for a TP. Actually, No-Tail's gonna see if he can catch Kiwo at the top lane. He's TP'd to the tier 3. Gonna make the jump, manages to get the Dragon Tail. Is there going to be a relocate follow-up? Doesn't look like it. Not just yet, anyway. They're gonna continue to try and fight this one out with No-Tail, but they know there could be reinforcements at any time, so they don't challenge that one off from OG. And a tier 2 for tier 2 is all she wrote.
Morphling closing in on that Eye of Scotty. It's going to be very problematic for Juggernaut. Even with the Vanguard, he's not going to be able to run away with that spin.
And he's certainly not going to be able to cut through the Morphling with his Omni Slash, with this big increase in stats to Miracle as well.
Dubu trying to get one last cast off probably in this left lane.
But he's got to put some pressure on the lanes, right? Nobody else can really do it. Like, if he gets caught in that sort of position, okay, it's a Witch Doctor. He doesn't really have much net worth anyway. He's just throwing all of it into wards. So if he can at least keep one hero of OG back, like he just did with Moon Meander, this does give MVP Phoenix a hope of maybe pushing forward, see if they can get a numbers advantage for a team fight, or even just drawing the game out.
Oof, Kyo narrowly dodges a gank there.
18,000 net worth on Miracle. He is 5K, over 5K net worth ahead of the Juggernaut. Goes to show what a beast he's been. Never dying, always split pushing away. They just never addressed him in the laning phase, and he's become a persistent problem ever since.
Looks like the smokes have finally cooled down for MVP. Desperate maybe to make a play around the Roach, which OG is starting at this very moment.
This is probably their best opportunity in the next 5 to 10 minutes for MVP Phoenix to try and get a fight that's to their advantage, but unless they go right now, they're not going to be fast enough. They're still sitting inside their base, and it seems like OG, thanks to all the information they have, will really take an Aegis.
And they lost all of their towers on the Roach. It's very difficult to contest this.
Yeah.
If Ember Spirit even tries to attempt a slight, he could get stunned, roared, blink Dragon Tail, anything that can just annihilate him.
The only ward they have up on MVP Phoenix is the 2 wards on the left-hand side of the map. Nothing even close to Roshan, so...
Moon's maybe thinking about a relocate setup.
If he can lead with that Primal Roar. We'll have a free pick off on Kiwo, but never mind that. OG can actually just keep on pushing. They don't even need Moon Meander here, just Miracle and No-Tail by themselves. They're rapidly chipping away at that tier 3 tower. MVP Phoenix, they're trying to set this fight up from behind right now with this smoke. It's going to cost them their tier 3 tower, but they do manage to get the initiation. Moon's going to be the first one, almost gets bursted down. Sling Blade not going to be there in time, but they've already lost their Witch Doctor. In return, Healing Ward also down, and MP has to retreat all the way back through. Miracle is going to start slowing him down with that Scotty. Now buyback coming out from MVP Phoenix. Witch Doctor is going to be one, and I imagine the Breath's going to be coming up next. Miracle jumps forward and takes the Witch Doctor out a second time. Sleight of Fist just not doing enough. Jump forward, No-Tail not able to catch QO, but they've already taken the objective they needed. Trev pops the Blade Mail as he manages to get the call onto No-Tail, but he's tanky, and MP, he doesn't even come close to cutting through the Dragon, as Perez goes down to secondary time, and now MP going to be chased away by Miracle, as there it is, MVP Phoenix. They probably knew it for the last 10 minutes, but this is very clearly GG in Game 1.
Rampage denied.
Just an ultra kill for Miracle, but putting in some work with that Morphling, but it was all set up by the space grid and just overall strategy of the laning phase by OG. They never let MVP Phoenix start that running ground.
And they had very difficult cores to kill. The Morphling on the bottom lane, the Dragon Knight in the mid lane. Beastmaster did suffer a tiny bit, but at the end of the day, they knew that MVP had to try and pressure them under the T1 towers, which was far too difficult with the Dazzle and the IO.
So OG, they very clearly